Hello everyone, it's Chef Trey with TreyInTheKitchen.com. Today we're gonna make a really simple, quick dish, especially if it's midweek, you want something fast. I'm gonna do, I got thin chicken breasts in a beautiful little dry sherry sauce. It's very simple. All you need is salt and pepper. I have a little parsley to garnish, some shallots. I'm not gonna use all that, but I'm gonna use most of it, and some garlic, a little butter, extra virgin olive oil, and let's make a quick dish. All right. So I started preheating my skillet. This is a Le Creuset. So of course, it's cast iron enamel. You wanna make sure it's nice and hot. So the way you know is I have some unsalted butter here. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons in. Oh, there's the sizzle. That's what you wanna hear. Lets you know that your pan is nice and hot. To that, I'm gonna add probably 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Don't want anything to stick, burn, but you want that beautiful flavor. As that melts, let's go ahead and season our chicken cutlets. Simple with some salt. We'll season the opposite side once it's in the pan. A little bit of freshly ground black pepper. And let's go. To the pan, obviously season side down. That's the sizzle you want to hear. Very important that you hear that sizzle. Of course, this is going to take probably about 2.5 to 3 minutes per side, and then it's completely done. And we're going to make a delicious pan sauce. So let me move this to the side. And now we're going to season the opposite side. Not too much. A little bit of salt goes a long way. Little. For me, that can never be enough to black pepper, but there we go. Raise that heat just a little bit. So the shallots and the garlic we're gonna do together to create the pan sauce once the chicken is done. And I love this because it's a one-pot meal, very quick, simple, and easy that you can make a couple of minutes. Now I'm not moving them, I just wanted to make sure that they're not sticking to the pan. So we'll raise that up a little bit so you want a nice little crust. And this is gonna be spectacular. You're gonna turn it over probably about another 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and then we'll get it going. The smell alone, butter and olive oil. How could you go wrong? Of course, I'm sure you'll tell me if I can go wrong. There we are. Oh, look at that. It smells so good. So you're gonna be tempted. Now, if you're using, this happens to be a non-stick surface. If you're using a stainless steel, the way you know your chicken is ready to be turned is it'll actually release itself. So don't push it, because sometimes if it's a non-stick, if you're using stainless steel, it will pull the chicken and rip it apart. So the way you know it's ready to flip is if it moves on its own without resistance. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this over. Oh, there we go. Look at that. And of course, we're gonna let that continue. About 3 minutes on this side. You get the beautiful little brown color. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna use all the juices that are in here and create that pan sauce together. All right, so just a few minutes have passed. We flipped them once over. I can pretty much tell just by the firmness, but this is completely cooked. I don't wanna overcook it so it doesn't dry out. So now let's remove it off the heat, set to the side. And in this beautiful juice here, add some shallots. Anyone who knows what I'm doing will know that Julia Child was notoriously known for doing these quick little pan sauces. I'm gonna add in some garlic. Oh, what the heck, let's just put it all in there. Use my trusty little tongs here. Not what they're really meant for, but you want to cook this just until probably about 60 to 90 seconds, till the shallots become translucent and that your garlic doesn't burn. So keep stirring because it's an aromatic. You really want it to really flavor, and then your whole home should be smelling like shallots and garlic. Put that up a little bit. Let that sit for a hot moment. And then to this, let's just move this a little bit. There we are. This smells so good. We're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of dry sherry, and we're gonna let that reduce down. The alcohol will cook out, but the flavor will remain. And that's what you want. than using my tongs, or if you use a flat spatula, anything like that. But if you're using nonstick, I really do use rubber. Get rid of those, you want to scrape up all those little brown bits, because what is that? That's flavor. It smells so, so good. I have the flame on medium. I just raised it up a little bit so that we can reduce this down further and a little faster. Now normally, sometimes I always keep vermouth. You can use white wine. You can use a combination of different things. So now I'm going to add just a little bit of my vegetable stock in here, probably like 1 to 2 tablespoons. Also let that reduce, which is why I raised the heat. That's about it. You want to create this beautiful little pan sauce. When it reduces, we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, just to bring it all together. And then put the chicken back in, and voila, you're done. And we'll taste test together. So I have a spoon. I'm gonna add in some fresh, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of fresh thyme leaves. And I'm gonna taste this. I want to adjust my seasoning in here. If it needs a little bit of salt, add a little bit of salt. If it needs a little pepper, if you want a little spice into it, then go ahead and add that in. So let's take a quick little taste. It's delicious. But I will add just a dot of salt. Literally. And y'all already know, a little bit of pepper. Let's mix that up. I wish you were here. You have to understand the aromas that are wafting out of this pan. Wait about another 30 to 45 seconds. We'll put in a pat of butter. It's gonna bring it all together, and we're gonna put the chicken right back in. So while we wait, go ahead and cut 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, and I'm gonna turn the dial off. We're feeling really generous. We're just gonna put in 2 tablespoons of butter. Put that all in, whisk it around, just mix it. The heat is off. I'm gonna add some parsley in here in a second. I did chop some Italian flat leaf parsley. So while that goes in, add for a little bit of color. Mix that in. See how the butter almost emulsifies your sauce? Oh, so good. Now let's put the chicken back in just for those last couple of seconds. Chicken's cooked already. See, clear juices. If you see pink here, your chicken needs just a little bit more time. And I'm gonna put those juices right back in, because why not? It's Flavor Town. And I'm gonna just turn this over. Let it sit in that beautiful sherry sauce. Now you can actually, one thing that you can do with this is you can add a little heavy cream and turn it into a sherry cream sauce. I just chose not to do a little cream sauce because I wasn't in the mood today. However, let me put this in the sink. I will be more than happy to taste test this. Let's grab this dish. It smells heavenly. So let's take this piece right here. This one is calling my name. Look at that. Hang on, I'm gonna put a little bit of this delicious sauce on top. Let's put that right over it. Maybe just a little more. You know I have to taste it in front of you all. Because that would just be very wrong of me not to taste it. Oh, look at that. Look, it just falls apart. I really hope you get to make this. It's so simple. This is an everyday thing that you can make. So from my kitchen to yours, as always, remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned. Make sure you turn that bell notification on. You'll get notified every time we put up a new video. Have a wonderful evening, and I'm gonna go back to eating my food because it's really, really good. Chef Great, I'll talk to you guys real soon.